Today's video is sponsored by Wormwood Gaming. Maybe you've seen Wormwood's incredible high-end wooden gaming accessories for D&D, Magic the Gathering, and many other TTRPGs and board games, each crafted in their Massachusetts workshop. They make everything from affordable dice vaults all the way up to high-end gaming tables. And now they've got dice. Resin dice that are available in 7 different colorways. Each set comes with 7 polyhedral dice and an extra 3d6. The Wormwood logo is featured on the 6th side of the D6. Sharp edge resin dice for people who like extra pointy dice. Get a set in one of the 8 different colorways. Voidwalker is my absolute favorite, available in 7 dice set, 3d6, or a d20. And gemstone dice, which I would much rather put on display than play with, because they are that fantastic. I'm torn between amethyst and opalite. Why not both? Gemstone dice are available as sets of 7, 3d6, or a d20 as well. Click on the link in the description below and use code ATDND to get free shipping and a free set of resin dice for domestic orders of $50 or greater. Or if you're international, make sure you use code ATDNDINT to get a $10 shipping discount and a free set of resin dice for international orders of $50 or greater. A D&D group hands me adoption papers. This takes place starting around 2020, and I'll keep things as brief as possible. But here's how I got introduced to D&D, and eventually poached due to some circumstances. To preface this story, I've never played D&D before. I discovered Critical Role and got super into Campaign 2, as they round their 120th episode. I really get into the idea of playing D&D. Always wanted to since high school, but was afraid I'd get bullied, so I never did. A buddy of mine wants to DM real bad, so he put together a group of 4 of us with everyone having little to no experience. First character I ever make is a Wood Elf Ranger. Edgy dead family backstory and all. The DM tells me to make sure I'm tied into the world and shit. Weeks pass and it's session 0. We put together character sheets because none of us were actually prepared. I didn't know how to write it up and I needed help. 2 players still haven't even picked classes yet. We sorted out. Actual first session is next week. Game time comes and we introduce our characters. One of the players is a straight up meme tier Warforged barbarian named Crusher69 or some crap. Session ends up being a disaster. Warforged is murdering every NPC, trying to threaten shopkeepers and shit when they don't sell things for half price. Rogue is trying to extort innkeeper to give us free lodging. Paladin and I are constantly acting as damage control. DM is struggling to keep us on track. First big encounter, we get ambushed after no one clears the area. Everyone in the party except I myself gets knocked out. Warforged and Rogue both heckle the DM to rewind because they weren't told how to play. DM caves and rolls back. They meted the hell out of the encounter. Big surprise there. DM tells me later in private it's not going at all how he wanted, and he doesn't know what to do. I try to give him advice and let him know I'll try my best to keep us from being a bunch of murder hobos. During the next session, the Rogue and Warforged are constantly busting the DM's balls about having high rolls, or not allowing exceptions for dumb shit. I try to chime in but get brushed off by them every time. Warforged goes to execute surrendered enemies. I try to hold him back from attacking, so he does the obvious and tries to attack me. DM rules he will not allow PvP. Warforged whines and we move on. Back at Inn, we run into bandits that make it clear they have information for the plot. They attack first. We dumpster all but one. I interrogate for information. Warforged executes him mid-sentence, completely derailing us again. Session ends. DM says he's headed to bed. Get an immediate message he wants to talk. He says he can't control the group and apologizes. Says Paladin and I actually seem interested in trying to play the game. Thanks me for playing and that he's ghosting the other 2, because they'll just bust his balls. Few days go by and I get a message from DM. He tells me he really enjoyed having me as a player in his game. A mutual friend of ours is about to run a campaign, and I've been invited. Tells me just to bring my previous character and tweak their backstory. Excitedly get introduced to the new DM and group. I had no idea this DM is going to be the reason I get adopted by a completely separate group in just over a month. So I excitedly bring my ranger from previous campaign. We're in Icewind Dale. Last DM gives me a warning. New DM is a bit unforgiving. He'll probably go easier on us considering you've never played. The DM from the last game is playing a Goblin Ranger. 6 players in total. Work with the DM to redo some of the backstory and integrate them into the world. Even throw in a reference of him falling in with a group of adventurers before bailing on them, once they turned out to be bad people. The previous DM loves it. New DM is liking the easy fit. First sessions I'm a bit shy for RP, but otherwise having fun. Survival aspect in traveling is kicking our ass, but the party's doing well. Elven Ranger is racking up kills. One-shots pretty much anything smaller than an orc. Yell at the Goblin Ranger in RP when I find out he was in the same warband that raided my village and killed my family. Goblin Ranger OOC says he loved it and was proud as hell. Form a relationship with the Tabaxi Monk, whom I've been routinely providing cover for. As sessions go on, the game gets noticeably harder. We're barely scraping out victories at times. Not a single combat where people don't go down. This is where shit starts to go bad. We end up being forced into a fight with a Yeti. Goblin Ranger gets insta-down 5 points shy of being one-shot instant killed. Next session we have a big boss fight. A trial of combat in front of some ice gods or some other cold deities. Play smart and use cover. Don't take a hit for the whole fight as I chunk health. It's a really tough fight, but we come out on top. As combat ends, we get attacked by the druid that led us here. Fail the dex save and take 48 damage in one attack. Go down instantly. My turn, fail the death save. Before my next turn, the druid casts Wall of Wind. That's 2 saves. I'm a bit pissed there was no chance I could do anything. Everyone else survives. Post-game, Tabaxi Monk admits his character had feelings for mine. That hurt more than the druid's betrayal. End up making my second character within the week. Decided I wanted to make a meme character and do a buff wizard. Conan looking himbo with a sword, which is his focus. Not much to outline at this point except a couple bullet points. One of the encounters we have is 4 ethereal spiders. Ends up being another close call. Around this time, I reconnect with an old friend, who finds out I'm getting into D&D. She invites me to the Discord she plays in for when a game eventually opens. They've been running a campaign for around 2 years now, and it's nearing the climax. The current DM jokes about how he doesn't want to DM anymore. Jokes and asks if we can all just TPK. Almost get real damn close to a TPK shortly after the jokes start. 2 orc war chiefs, 10 orcs, 7 goblins, and a caster. We are level 5. 2 players manage to clutch a victory. Shortly after, the DM starts talking about making changes to death saves, so they stay after being healed, only being removed on medicine checks or long rest. Says it's so medicine is a more useful stat, but I have doubts on that. I start talking about all this to the other Discord. The forever DM in the chat is horrified and offers his support when I have questions. This is a bit of a turning point in the story, and I promise it wraps up soon now. At this time, the Tabaxi Monk OOC is talking about how some of these encounters are ridiculous. Goblin Ranger agrees since there seems to be something that can kill him in one shot in every combat. End up getting offered by the forever DM to play a guest PC in their 2-year campaign. Maybe like 2 or 3 sessions depending. People in the Discord laughing about how they saw me getting abused and adopted me. I make a character I've thought about making since having a joking conversation with a friend. An orphan rogue who's taught to steal by the orphanage. Spend a couple days talking with the DM to work my bastard into the world. Ends up being my favorite character I've made so far. Have an absolutely amazing first session introducing my character by pickpocketing the party. RP is great because the character is shy and so am I. Get accepted with open arms into the group, both in and out of game. Meanwhile, still playing in the other group. We go on a multi-session dungeon crawl in an old mine. Finally hit the last room 3 sessions in. Only 3 enemies. Can't be that hard. First turn, I'm dropped to 6 HP. Brutal fight, as 2 of the 3 enemies are high-level casters. Cone of cold everywhere. Our escape is blocked. No retreating. Team is critical health on round 2. Not looking good. Casters are dropping legendary resistances on everything big we throw at them. Another cone of cold. Counterspell that shit. Success. Uses legendary action to upcast a fireball instead. Guess this is the end. Ranger, Druid, and I go down. Next turn, Monk goes down. Druid dies. Paladin's still up. Barbarian's dead. Ends as a total TPK with us not even killing 1 caster. They were level 11 casters. We were level 6. That was the end of Icewind Dale for us. The Monk was livid at the time but got over it. Most of the players were just disappointed. The Monk and Ranger ended up starting their own campaigns sometime after. Currently, only the Monk's campaign is still running at the time of writing. Meanwhile, I end up getting full-time adopted by the other group. My rogue stays with the party all the way until the very end. My little orphan Annie found a family and all that sentimental junk. End up having the most fun I've had in D&D so far. Even wrote a little short story of meeting the party in my rogue's perspective. I get more comfortable with RP, and notice myself coming out of my shell and being more confident in RP. So that's pretty much the whole story. I'm still playing on the regular with both groups, and I'm having a blast. Also got the chance to talk to a couple of the players of the Icewind Dale campaign in private, and hear their thoughts. Overall, it was a goddamn roller coaster, but in the end I made up a huge group of friends and made some amazing stories and memories. Thanks for sticking all the way to the end. This was something I've wanted to share for some time. That natural evolution of someone that has never played Dungeons & Dragons. Shy to start, then you find yourself in two groups simultaneously and looking for more. I'm so glad it worked out for this player and they found a group they really fit into. That's the hardest part of D&D, but once you get it, it's well worth it. Tell us about your quest to find the perfect D&D group in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, All Things D&D. Stay tuned for more amazing Dungeons & Dragons content.